everybody. Happy Pride and welcome to the Progress Pride flag raising ceremony here at County of Santa Clara. We have an amazing lineup for you, but I just want to make sure we kick off things right. So, introducing Ensemble Folclórico Colibri! One more time for Ensemble Folklorico Colibri. Next up, I want to bring up the Indian Health Center of Santa Clara Valley for today's land acknowledgement. So allow me, and folks, applause for Gerardo from Indian Health Center, accompanied by his wife, Corina.
Hello, relatives. Just want to say thank you for being here today. It's a real blessing and a privilege to be here to bear witness to this assembly, this gathering, this protest, this demonstration of pride. My wife here, she's going to make a gesture here in the 7 directions. It's an ancestral acknowledgement of inclusion. The Eastern direction, honoring the essence of masculinity. The Western direction, honoring the essence of femininity. The Northern direction, honoring all of our ancestors, our elders, the elders within our communities, the elders that each one of us represents, the South, our children and our future generations. Just going to take a moment to honor all that is above. Take a moment to honor our sacred Mother Earth. Abundance, unconditional love. And take a moment right here. She took care of this flag. Let's burn some of this copal here for each and one of you. And we do all of this in honor and respect as we stand here upon the ancestral, unceded territory of the Muwekma Ohlone people who continue their fight towards reestablishing their recognition on a federal level as a tribe. Just want to take a brief moment to call upon you to think about why it is that you're here today. What all of this represents, that all-encompassing thought, intention, and prayer that we make when we just say, I am grateful for this very moment and all that it represents, stemming from the beginning of time, what it is that we're experiencing right here, right now, and what it means for our future generations. What this, I mean, if you just take a moment to try and pull all of that into a thought, it's really something overwhelming and powerful to be able to be here, county offices, flag raising today in celebration of Pride. While we capture that spirit, we're going to go ahead and sing a song in honor of it, a ceremonial song, indigenous ceremonial song, representative of some of our ceremonial ways. By no means are we representative of all indigenous people. My wife and I come from the Wirarica people of Zacatecas, and myself from the Pame, Pueblo, and Mescalero people, southwest and into northeastern Mexico. But by all means are we members, and we stand strong in solidarity not only with our urban indigenous community here, but also with all of you today, and happy to be here. With that in mind, we'll sing this song in honor of that spirit. We sing this song in solidarity for the continued struggle that we all have. The Muwekma Ohlone people reached out to them and asked them about providing a land acknowledgement, and they provided a beautiful, very detailed land acknowledgement that unfortunately the program didn't have time for today. So we brought a copy of it and we left it at the County Office of LGBTQ Affairs outreach table. I invite you all to take a moment to learn about the struggle of the Muwekma Ohlone people, how it is that we can support them today, how it is that we can continue to be good allies as we all stand here as good allies with one another today. With that in mind, I say, aho, noshti no mekayotsi. In all my relations, thank you.
Thank you, Gerardo and Corina. So, folks, again, I just have to say, welcome to the intersex inclusive Progress Pride flag raising ceremony. As this is the last day of Pride, I have a really quick activity for y'all. So I'm gonna say to each and every one of you, Happy Pride. And what I would love for each and every one of you to do is look around, look at your neighbor, and say to them, Happy Pride. Happy Pride, y'all. So, my name is Sarah. I use she, her pronouns. I'm a proud, queer, visible, transgender woman of color. And I am just so proud to see over my left shoulder this inclusive, intersex inclusive Progress Pride flag. We've been flying the flag here at County at every Pride Month since 2017. Oh, I'm not 2017, 2007. And since 2013, we've been flying the rainbow flag every single day. And this spoke volumes to me. As a trans woman, since 2016, we've raised the transgender flag, and that has been flying 24/7, 365 here at the county office. And since then, there's been so many iterations of the flag, right? From the Philadelphia flag from Amber Hikes to the Progress flag, which was recently introduced in 2018 from Daniel Quasar. And now, as of this Pride season, we have the intersex inclusive Progress flag. Quick story, we got this yesterday, y'all. This is how new it is. The people will be coming out to take pictures of this flying over our county office. How beautiful is it to have this? I had to iron it last night, y'all, to make sure it's presentable, but what a sign of beauty. So wonderful to see this here. We have an amazing program for you today, but we do have some quick remarks from the creator of the intersex inclusive Progress Pride flag. They go by the name of Valentina Vicchietti. They are not here, but after I read their statement, they're all the way up, or I guess west or east. I'm not sure. COVID has affected me. But they are all the way in the UK. So I'm going to read their statement. Then, after I read their statement, I'm going to ask for y'all to applaud so that they could hear us all the way across the seas. So, Valentina Vicchietti, the creator of the intersex inclusive progressive or Progress Pride flag. My name is Valentina Vicchietti. My pronouns are she and they. I was born with an intersex variation. I have a lesbian sexuality, and I have mixed heritage. I am a writer and artist. I founded Intersex Equality Rights UK. We campaign for inclusion, equity, and representation. What is intersex? And why did I redesign the Pride flag? Intersex is an umbrella term for over 40 natural physical variations in our sex characteristics that we are born with. When I saw Daniel Quasar's Pride Progress flag in 2018, I loved that it included Gilbert Baker's rainbow flag, Monica Helm's trans flag, and Amber Hike's black and brown stripes. In that moment, I had a vision of Morgan Carpenter's 2013 intersex flag fitting into the white triangular space. I did not know that in 3 years later, it would be me, a grassroots activist, who would create this inclusion. I wanted to include the intersex flag in a balanced way so that we all could fit together on this flag and take up space in a shared way without domination and create visual inclusion, allyship, and solidarity. Since then, I have had overwhelming support from my intersex community and allies across the globe. I made this flag to bring joy to my community and create a greater understanding of our distinct population. And through your allyship, you all have brought me so much joy in return. Everybody, big round of applause. And I want to hear it because they got to hear it all the way across the seas for Valentino Vicchietti. Okay, folks, so we have a wonderful program for you today. Again, thank you all for making it out here. First up, I want to bring up President of the Board of Supervisors, Supervisor Mike Wasserman.
May I call my board up? May I call my board up with me? Okay, great. Good afternoon, everybody. I wore a tie as close as I could to the flag here happening. I'm Mike Wasserman. I'm the current president of the Santa Clara County Board of Supervisors, and I'd like to invite my other supervisors up here with me. We've got a proclamation. It'll be a good photo opportunity. This also shows the support and unity of the Santa Clara County Board of Supervisors. And I also want to point out one of the humblest people I know, Dr. Marty Fensterscheib, who's right over there with his hand raised, which is about as much as you'll get out of Marty. And Marty was one of the leaders, one of the medical leaders in our fight against COVID as far as testing and vaccinating. He came back from retirement and did a superhuman job, and we couldn't have done it without you, Dr. Fensterscheib. Pride Month is more than a celebration. It's a symbol of social progress and the hard march towards equality in America for all Americans. Our LGBTQ community is diverse. It is through these various lived experiences that we can continue to listen and improve ourselves and our county on the road to equality. Not just for the LGBTQ community, but for everyone in our nation. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." Today, as we raise the Progress Pride flag, we are raising more than the colorful fabric, and thank you for ironing it last night. We are raising our thoughts, our expectations, and our hopes for the future. A future of acceptance and inclusion, where an event such as this one today no longer is a call for more inclusive and safe community, but a reflection of our accomplishments in a truly just and equitable society that we helped create. A future where a person who identifies as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, or questioning doesn't preclude them from a safe and successful life and a happy future. The county level of government is often overlooked or not understood. Our primary mandates are to administer health and social service programs and provide vital services such as public safety and elections. Because of our broad reach, counties have numerous opportunities to help make better health outcomes as well as better economic outcomes for the LGBTQ community. It is no secret that government moves slowly. Oftentimes, social progress leads and government policy follows. But here in Santa Clara County, we take pride in leading. We have our newest supervisor, Otto Lee. We have our vice president, Susan Ellenberg. We have Supervisor Cindy Chavez and Supervisor Joe Simidian. You're seeing the entire Board of Supervisors here present, showing their pride and their support for this event and the community. It's because of the focused work of people like former Supervisor Ken Yeager. Can you stand for a moment? There he is. A round of applause, please. And now the Office of LGBTQ Affairs. Maribel. That Santa Clara County is on the forefront of social progress and changing lives. Please join me in thanking Maribel Martinez and her awesome LGBTQ team for putting together today's event. And with that, I'm going to read very quickly, so as not to take up any more time up here, the proclamation, the commendation celebrating today's event. Whereas, as the Santa Clara County lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, non-binary, queer questioning community, allies and advocates stand together in solidarity to celebrate Pride this month of June. Whereas discrimination, bias, violence, and threats to the LGBTQ plus community continue not only throughout the country and the world, but also here in Santa Clara County. Whereas discrimination, bias, violence, and threats against one or any community harm us all. Whereas the LGBTQ plus community of Santa Clara County serves as an exemplar and pillar of acceptance and compassion, challenging us all to care for and accept one another with open arms. Whereas the County of Santa Clara is better, more vibrant, and complete place to work and live through endless contributions from the LGBTQ plus individuals and many community-based organizations. Whereas on June 25th, 2021, the Queer Silicon Valley exhibit opens at History Park, San Jose. Yeah! Documenting the story of struggles and successes, and on June 30th, today, 2021, Santa Clara County will raise the Progress Pride flag, and I arranged for that flyover at this very moment. Here at the County Administration Building, representing the most inclusive iterations of an LGBTQ plus focus flag by incorporating many communities together, which is aligned with the county intersectional values. And whereas Pride, and I am proud today, and I know our board is proud today, Pride represents courage, strength, openness, unconditional love, kindness, and compassion. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Supervisors of the County of Santa Clara does hereby proclaim the month of June 2021 as LGBTQ plus Pride Month. This is passed and adopted unanimously by the board you see before you. Thank you all very much, and please congratulate yourselves. And I have not been told if anyone else is speaking.
We're going to give it to Sarah?
Yep. Can we pass it on to Sarah? Yes, please do get Sarah in the picture.
And Maribel?
And yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Anybody wearing the flag, I love it.
And Daniel, do you want to get in? Daniel?
So over here?
Easily over you.
Lovely. There you go. Got it.
Thank you.
Perfect. Yeah.
I think
Hold it,
you've
hold
got
it,
a
hold
career.
it, hold it. Yeah. You gotta hold it.
That's not me.
Yours right here.
Mine.
I've got one more place to go. There, right there. Thank you. I'll leave this here for you? Okay, you can leave this here.
All right, thank you, President Wasserman. Up next, we have Supervisor Otto Lee.
Thank you. Good morning. We're still morning here. Actually, I take it back. Good afternoon. We're already just past the noon time. My name is Otto Lee, pronoun he, him, and I'm truly honored to be speaking with you as the newest supervisor representing District 3. And thank you, President Wasserman, for your poignant remarks earlier. Also, actually, I want to invite Supervisor Chavez. You want me to, oh, I think you just stepped up. So she wants me to also, on behalf of her, to make these comments today. As we know, change can arrive if we are brave enough to take the risk. This year, as the Progress Pride flag and many other Pride flags are waving across America's municipalities and communities, we see change arriving across Santa Clara County and America as well. We have made great strides towards equality and there is more work to be done. During this month of Pride, we must celebrate the victories and the hard work individuals whose perseverance and sacrifice has made this progress possible. We celebrate all those who took up the fight before us and laid the groundwork for these progresses. We celebrate the trans women of color who were not satisfied with the status quo and took to the streets to demand equality for all in San Francisco and New York at the Compton Cafeteria and the Stonewall Inn. We celebrate Dan Choi, who bravely stood up and advocated for the repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell, and the right to serve our country, helping to bring this compromised but discriminatory policy to an end. We celebrate Yasmin Iraski Ruiz, who bravely testified before the U.S. House Judiciary Committee to advocate for the 36,000 LGBTQ+ dreamers and equitable access to citizenship and protection from discrimination abroad for all. We celebrate all the contributions LGBTQ+ individuals and communities have made to our society. But we also take this moment to reflect and remember those who we have lost along the way, those whose memory we carry with us as we strive to make this a more just and equitable world for all. We remember them, our fallen brethren, and we strive to make them proud. And that is why I, along with my fellow supervisors here, are honored to proclaiming the month of June as LGBTQ+ Pride Month right here in Santa Clara County. So to celebrate the victories and progress the LGBTQ+ community has achieved, to strengthen our communities and to continue the good fight for equality, the good fight for freedom, the freedom to love, because no laws should ever govern who we can love. I'm also honored to be part of this ceremony to officially raise the Progress Pride flag to fly over our county of Santa Clara, and which is a visible beacon and reminder to all that there is no room for hate here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Supervisor. And I know Supervisor Chavez had to leave for a second, but thank you for the words. Up next, I want to invite up Supervisor Joe Simidian.
Thank you. So I came straight from home, and as I walked out the door, I asked my wife, Mary, what do you think I could say that would help convey the depth of my support for Pride? And she asked, are all 5 supervisors speaking? And I said, yes, they are. And she said, well, I think you could convey your depth of support by keeping it brief. So here's what I want. I saw those hands going up in applause. So here's what I want to say. It would be easy to dismiss the flag as just a symbol. And it would be easy to dismiss the raising of the flag as just a gesture. But that would be wrong on both counts. Yes, the flag is a symbol, but it's an important symbol. It's a symbol that says, no matter who you are, no matter who you love, no matter how you love, no matter how you identify, we're all part of the same family and we're all entitled to the same measure of dignity and respect. And when we raise the flag, yes, it's a gesture, but it's more than a gesture. It's a gesture that says that we as a county are committed to making those aspirational goals real for each and every one of the 2 million people who call Santa Clara County home. So when you talk with your friends and your family later today and they say, what did you do today? I hope you won't think it was just a symbol or just a gesture. I hope that you, like we, will wrap your arms around 2 million Santa Clara County residents and recommit to treat them with the dignity and respect and love that each and every one of us deserves. Thank you so much for including me today. Be well.
Thank you, Supervisor. Up next, I'd like to invite Supervisor Susan Ellenberg. Vice President, Supervisor Susan Ellenberg.
Sarah, thank you for the many titles. I am Susan Ellenberg. I represent District 4, and my pronouns are she, her, and hers. As we prepare to raise the Progress Pride flag here at the county building, it is important to acknowledge the untiring and relentless work that has already been done, the decades of efforts that have been undertaken in the face of great risk to make lives better today, and the ongoing drive to end discrimination, bias, and hate that we can't quite seem to vanquish. As has been said today, the flag is a new symbol that shows that the LGBTQIA+ community can be fully represented and work together for common goals. We leave no one behind. We leave no one out. Pride represents courage, strength, openness, unconditional love, resilience, kindness, and compassion. The LGBTQAI+ community celebrates this month with remembrance for the far too many individuals who have been killed, injured, discriminated against, shunned, and closeted. Thankfully, some progress has been made in the realms of acceptance, marriage, and diversity. But as we all know, there is so much more that needs to be done. The federal government must pass the Employment Non-Discrimination Act, ENDA. This bill has been introduced in nearly every Congress since 1994. The Bostock case was a recent victory in the Supreme Court, but like ENDA, applies only to employment. We need to protect against discrimination in every single setting. We cannot wait for a future in which transgender and non-binary women are not being killed and injured. We must immediately demand better, already tragically belatedly. The U.S. Supreme Court's refusal to hear the case against transgender bathrooms, where Santa Clara County and San Jose Unified School District were leaders for dignity, is an encouraging step, but again, doesn't go far enough or fast enough. I am so proud that here in Santa Clara County, we have so many organizations working to support individuals in their gender and sexuality journey. Our first in the nation LGBTQ Affairs Office, along with Billy DeFrank Center, Project More, Bill Wilson Center, Avenidas, Youth Space, Queer Space, the Transgender Health Clinic, Proud Parents, PFLAG, and others too numerous to mention, speak to our community's commitment to equality, respect, and support. It was so exciting and heart-filling to visit the Queer Silicon Valley exhibit at San Jose History Park last week to mark the struggles and honor all who did so much right here. One of the things that struck me was how many of the faces in the photographs from 10, 20, 30 years ago are still leaders in our community today. You have fought long and hard and are still at it. Congratulations to my predecessor, former Supervisor Ken Yeager and the Baymek Foundation, as well as History San Jose, for assembling and curating this powerful and enlightening exhibit. It is open for the next 12 months and well worth a visit. Let's continue to work together to make Santa Clara County an even more respectful, welcoming, and safe community for all. Thank you and happy Pride.
Thank you, Vice President Ellenberg. Up next, I would like to invite County Executive Dr. Jeff Smith.
Thank you very much. Well, it's amazing. You know, flags are here in this plaza to remind us of things, past, present, and future. This progress flag reminds us in the present that all are welcome at our door. Everybody, no matter what your gender, identity, sex, or identification is welcome in this county, and we take pride in the fact that we're accepting all, no matter what. In the past, it reminds us that we've been through a lot. This last pandemic, coming hopefully to a close, has really opened quite widely the implicit bias that exists in our society. And thousands of people have died in our state, millions in the world, and revealed that we have a society that needs to be fixed. But it also reminds me of the largest infectious pandemic in the history of the world, which was the HIV pandemic that still is ongoing. It's killed far more than any pandemic in the history of the world. And at the beginning of the pandemic, it was greatly ignored by many people because it was thought of as just a homosexual problem. That tells us that there's a lot we need to do in the future because there's a lot of evil that's existed in our world in the past. And the progress flag reminds us that the future can be bright. And we do have the ability to change our world. And we have changed our world. We will continue to change our world. So as everyone enters this plaza, sees this beautiful flag called the progress flag, I hope they remember the past, the present, and the future, and are committed to make the future a better place for all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, County Executive. So I don't know if you folks see this. I know everyone's here in the shade, right? But if you also didn't notice, over my right shoulder, all the way up there, that ribbon has been shining with the rainbow colors throughout the entire month. And I just want to give a big shout out to Deputy County Executive Sylvia Gallegos and their staff partner, Tyler Manlanka, for creating this beautiful representation. You can kind of see it. If you folks want to stay up until sundown to take a picture with it, that's highly recommended, but make sure you wear sunscreen. Up next, I want to bring up from the Office of LGBTQ Affairs, my boss, Maribel Martinez.
Good afternoon. Buenas tardes. Narichuski. My name is Maribel Martinez. I'm a Two-Spirit Chicanx person. I'm happy to be here leading the Office of LGBTQ Affairs. In 2016, the Office of LGBTQ Affairs was the first office of its kind in the United States, and today we are the first government entity to fly this updated progress flag. Expanding on what Supervisor Simidian said, flags are a symbol and a promise. They represent who we are, what we stand for. They are proof that we were here, that we endured, that we have waged battle and we're still standing. It signifies who we choose to include in the us. These last 15 months have been hard, especially since many of our community was already experiencing isolation, economic instability, limited healthcare access, and other disparities. Today, on the last day of Pride Month, we declare we are still here. These 15 months have changed us, allowed us to reflect, and so we emerge in this new phase of community, one that we've dreamed of even bigger than we were before, more encompassing. We emerge together alongside of our partners, our neighbors, our collaborators, remembering those we've lost along the way, but better connected. For the Office of LGBTQ Affairs, it is with our sibling departments in the Division of Equity and Social Justice, the Office of Women's Policy, Immigrant Relations, Labor Standards and Enforcement, Cultural Competency, and Gender-Based Violence Prevention. it is important to acknowledge the overwhelming support from our elected officials and our county leadership. Dr. Smith, our county executive, Miguel Marquez, our chief operating officer, and Dr. Rocio Luna, our deputy county executive. And Dr. Luna, who will be leading us into this next phase of the division, centering equity in building back together. I also want to give an acknowledgement to the LGBTQ folks who have been at the front lines of COVID response. Folks like Dr. Marty Fensterscheib, who's been in charge of vaccines, and Ricardo Romero Morales, who's been our PIO lead for so many months, and many others who have been in our testing sites, our vaccination sites, our isolation and quarantine, all of them, giving all the best of them so that our community can continue. As we move forward, we are investing in training for healthcare, training for educators, training for law enforcement on our court system, training for our county staff, and in fact, we're leveraging our county negotiation process so that our training will now be available to all local government entities in Santa Clara County for free. We're also investing in data collection. Our senior LGBTQ survey has launched, and we encourage everyone in Santa Clara County who is a senior and LGBTQ to fill out the survey. We want to hear from you and want to make a promise of making a better community for you. So with that, we thank you for being here. We thank you for staying here. We thank you for dreaming of community here. Thank you, thank you. Happy Pride.
Happy Pride. Up next, I want to invite on former Board of Supervisor and President of the Bay Met Community Foundation. Everybody, give it up for Ken Yeager.
Happy Pride, everybody. Happy Pride. It's great to be here. I want to take you back 14 years. 14 years, right around this period of time. I was a newly elected member of the Board of Supervisors, first openly gay supervisor. And I realized at the very beginning of June in 2007, we had never raised the rainbow flag here at the county building. And I said to myself, we're going to change that. And so working with Pete Koutras, who was the county executive at the time, along with all my staff members, we raised it very proudly, and it was a big ceremony, and it's wonderful that it continues on today. So it's really nice to be here. I do want to say that 6 years ago, after the Supreme Court Obergefell decision, I remember hearing that on the news, and then I called up Dr. Smith, and I said, how can we go about raising the flag in honor of that great decision? And he said, no problem, and up the flag went. And then he and I were talking in my office, and we both decided that we needed to have the rainbow flag fly every day that the county building was open. And I just want to say just a personal thank you to Dr. Smith. For those of you who know him and have worked with him, there is no one who has been more supportive of not only the LGBTQ community, but all the communities here. And so, Jeff, thank you for your leadership. Just been amazing. Just been amazing. I want to just quickly say that I have carried the county with me after leaving about 2.5 years ago. It was a very generous grant that I got from the county to do the Queer Silicon Valley exhibit at History San Jose. And we have a table over there. And hopefully you'll be able to drop by and get some information and really learn about the history of our community. For me, it really is a love letter to the incredible people in San Jose, Santa Clara County, who have done so much for all of us and all the work that they've done. So it's good to be here with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ken. So right now, I'm going to invite our speakers to come on over, and we are going to raise the intersex inclusive Progress Pride flag. So speakers, feel free to come right over here. And folks, once in a lifetime opportunity. If you want to take pictures, now would be the perfect time. So inviting all our speakers, if you feel comfortable, feel free to get your hands on that rope. I'm also going to invite Daniel. If you folks didn't know, Daniel Moretti put a lot of this event together. So give it up for Daniel Moretti. But inviting all the speakers to come on through, and we're going to begin, and we're going to start with this intersex, inclusive, progress, pride, flag raising. Thank you, speakers. So we do have more speakers up next. I want to bring up Isabella from the Q Corner and Roxai from the Gender Health Center. Give it up for Isabella and Roxai.
Okay, hello everyone. So I'm just going to read what I have written down, and then our table's over here if you want more information. Not this tall. So Pride began with Black trans women fighting for and protecting the LGBTQIA+ community against violence, harassment, houselessness, and hunger. This progress flag is a reminder to honor and intentionally center and amplify transgender, non-binary, gender diverse, intersex, and BIPOC voices and experiences within our community. LGBT-focused work has been supportive to folks of varying sexual orientations, but not necessarily folks of varying genders outside of cis men and cis women. As a peer-driven program, the Q Corner is working with Sarah Fernando, the Gender Health Center, and community partners across varying agencies through the Trans Care Coalition to create change within the system to support transgender, non-binary, and gender diverse folks, working towards supporting all identities and sub-communities of the larger LGBTQIA+ umbrella. As we do so, we are seeing the vast disparities in health outcomes and in access to affirming care. To be able to identify and refer the community to trustworthy gender-affirming providers is a feat we have begun and still have a long way to go. In the spirit of community-driven work, the Q Corner is excited to announce our new Peer Advisory Committee with the intention of bringing together varying experiences and perspectives that aren't often always heard or included at all points of the work that we do, and not just the voices of those working within the county system or our well-known agencies. This includes artists, community members, activists of varying ages and experiences that have so much to bring to the table. And probably most exciting, we have now binders from small to 5XL, and you can find the request form on our Instagram or come talk to our peer support worker, Emmett Marsh. Our doors will be opening again soon, but in the meantime, folks can connect to our transgender, non-binary support groups. We have these in English and Spanish that we facilitate in collaboration with LGBTQ Wellness and the Gender Health Center. You can connect as well through online social media platforms and varying events and resource fairs. We will continue this peer-driven work in solidarity with all the intersections of our community. Happy Pride Month. Thank you.
Good job.
Howdy, everybody. My name is Roxay Cisneros Jimenez. I'm the outreach specialist at the Gender Health Center. The Gender Health Center is a clinic of the Santa Clara Valley Medical System, and I'm here to briefly share some anonymous patient quotes with you about what our patients feel that the meaning of this flag raising is. Okay, so here goes. First quote. When I come to this clinic, I am always so happy to see the rainbow iconography, and it encourages me to drop this shield I sometimes don't even know I'm carrying. The raising of this flag, I feel, is just so amazing to know I can walk past the outside of a building, a government building, and to know that I am seen, my community is seen, and intersex and gender expansive people are recognized. It is like something I've never felt before. Quote number 2. Me parece muy bueno que otra bandera, una que fijamente incluye a las personas trans, vaya a ser usada. Hay veces que entre nuestra misma comunidad nos dividimos, nos juzgamos, y esto es una acción en contra de esas ocurrencias. Necesitamos ser unidos y a la vez reconocer que cada uno de nosotros somos diferentes. And third quote, as a trans woman of color, I feel this is a step in the right direction. Flying a flag that makes a distinction between gender and sexual orientation will only help to educate others and benefits all of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Isabella and Roxay. Before I introduce our next speaker, I just want to give a shout out to Tom Pike. Tom Pike, wherever you are, Representative Rokana is in the house. So Tom Pike, thank you for making it through. Up next, I want to bring up Reverend Dr. Brian Franzen from the Human Rights Commission.
So I'm Brian Franzen. I am the chairperson of the Human Rights Commission, and it has been an honor for the last year to work with that. And in a county that is a human rights county, which means that we adhere to the Human Rights Declaration of the United Nations, and that we truly respect the dignity of all people in our community, no matter where they come from, who they are, what they believe, their sexual orientation, gender identity, etc. I wanted to talk today just to tell you about what we've done this past year for the LGBTQ community in the Human Rights Commission. And that is to pass out of our committee, our commission, the board policy resolution to make all documents that the county has gender inclusive, so that it would make sure that the language coming out of all bills are gender inclusive language. And hopefully by the end of the year, we're hoping hopefully by Silicon Valley Pride, but hopefully by the end of the year at least, this will become policy, and we will become a county that not only recognizes and supports our LGBTQ community in the services that we have, but also in the language of all of our bills and other resolutions that come from the county. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Reverend. Up next, I'd like to introduce Teddy Pacheco from the Young Women's Freedom Center.
Hello, good afternoon. My name's Teddy. My pronouns are she, hers. I am an LGBTQ plus fellow for the upcoming pilot called Pride Project from the Young Women's Freedom Center. I first started with the center as an intern where I got a lot of help that honestly changed my lifestyle, and around it opened my eyes to want to help other youth like me. They offered me another position as a fellow, and I was honored, but having this as a job is really new to me, especially as a first job. jumping straight to public speech, to leading groups, which is all new to me. But at the end of the day, I remember that it helps me to grow as a better person and also to be able to help other youth and help and make a difference, even if it's just like, even if it's just a little. Anyways, let me tell you guys what Pride Month means to me. I personally think that Pride Month is very important for the world to recognize the impact for the people who identify as LGBTQ+ that they had in this world. It is important to celebrate that. I think it's important for people to be able to express their authentic selves and being proud of who they are. At the end of the day, we're just fighting for equality for all. We had to celebrate the progress that has been made as a community. Thank you all.
Everybody, one more time for Teddy. So y'all, that concludes the speakers portion of today's event. I just have to say, just looking to the crowd, how beautiful each and every one of you are. Being here in your authenticity, however that may be, being visible and being able to celebrate this intersex inclusive Progress Pride flag. This is so heartwarming, y'all. And I just want to thank each and every one of you. There's also plenty of thanks that we want to give out. So first off, today, live streaming for folks that can't make it out today, I want to give a big shout out to Luis Castillo's pictures, which is right in front of me. Thank you so much. This event couldn't be possible without my office mate from the Office of LGBTQ Affairs. You could probably catch him running around all over the place. Give it up. Oh, he's actually right in back of me. Give it up for Daniel Moretti. If you folks did not notice, there's a big party going on right over there to the left of me. We have so many wonderful resources. Give it up for the resource fair that's going on to the left or to your right. We also want to give a big shout out to Erin Fitzgerald. If you folks did not notice, this intersex inclusive Progress Pride flag, we have a limited edition drop. Yes, I said limited edition. We have that in the form of a placard at the Office of LGBTQ Affairs table. Feel free to grab placards. We have them in all sorts of LGBTQ flag flavors. So make sure you stop by the table as well as pick up and meet community right over at the resource table. And last but not least, I want to make sure I give a big fat shout out to each and every one of you. Thank you for being in your authenticity. Thank you for being visible. My name is Sarah Fernando. I use she, her pronouns, and I work for the County of Santa Clara. Thank you all. I want to bring up for our final performance, Ensemble Folklorico Colibri.
Y este es su mariachi herencia, sí señor.
Es el mariachi.
¡Hola, mi herencia! ¡Ahí les va mi sol de México! ¡Sí, señor! ¡Hola, Guti!
Qué bonitas son las indias desde Tuxpan sin igual, del meritito Jalisco donde hay puro natural. Qué bonitas son las indias desde Tuxpan sin igual, del meritito Jalisco donde hay puro natural. Ay, la la la, ay la 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 la. Qué bonitas son las indias desde Tuxpan la, la, la. Del meritito Jalisco donde hay puro natural.
Y hasta parece que ando en Jalisco, muchachos.
Sonero mi herencia y llegaron los camperos, sí señor. Cuando vayas al fandango, ponte tus guarrabonas, pa' que salgas a bailar el son de las copetonas. Cuando vayas al fandango, ponte tus guarrabonas, pa' que salgas a bailar el son de las copetonas. Cuando vayas al fandango, ponte tus aguas azules, pa' que salgas a bailar sábado, domingo y lunes. Cuando vayas al fandango, ponte tus aguas azules, pa' que salgas a bailar sábado, domingo y lunes. Échele muchachos, mariachi herencia de México, sí señor. Estando cerrando un palo sí, haciéndote requete que no. Solo aquel que no es cristiano sí, no tiene su tres pele que no. Estando cerrando un palo sí, haciéndote requete que no. Solo aquel que no es cristiano sí, no tiene su tres pele que no.
Ay la 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 la, ay la 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 la.
Solo aquel que no es cristiano sí, no tiene su tres pele que no. Puro verga, sí señor. Échale carrito. Seguro que sí, Arturito. Si me quieres tú de ver así, no me hagas de requete que no. Hazme todo lo que quieras y sin que quede tembele que no. Si me quieres tú de ver así, no me hagas de requete que no. Hazme todo lo que quieras y sin que quede tembele que no.
Ay la 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 la, ay la 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 la.
Hazme todo lo que quieras y sin que quede tembele que no. Y esa es nuestra herencia mexicana, ¿verdad de Dios que sí? ¡Y que viva México! ¡Sí, señor!
Desde Jalisco, este es su mariachi reina, señores. Estando cerrando un palo sí, haciéndote requete que no. Solo aquel que no es cristiano sí, no tiene su tres veles que no. Estando cerrando un palo sí, haciéndote requete que no. Solo aquel que no es cristiano sí, no tiene su tres veles que no.
Ay la 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 la, ay la 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 la.
Solo aquel que no es cristiano sí, no tiene su tres veles que no.
How long is it?
How long is what?
You know what? How long is it since we've seen each other?
Oh, well, let's see.
Since I'm up.